Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Christ Church, United Church of Christ here in Elizabethtown. I'm Pastor Galen, and you are on our live YouTube channel for what's happening at Christ Church. This is Wednesday, April 15th. I'm glad that you are with us. I'm going to get started tonight by talking about a little bit of a Bible verse that I've been thinking about today. I call this little devotional Stronger Than Before. And I'm reflecting on Paul's words from his letter to the church that he wrote to the Philippians. In chapter 4, he writes this: I know what it is to have little, and I know what it is to have plenty. In any and all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being well fed and of going hungry, of having plenty and of being in need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I was thinking about that, and it came to my mind that some newscasters are using the catchphrases, "We're all in this together." And they've also said, "We'll come through this stronger than before." So I've entitled this devotional Stronger Than Before. And those words that we hear from the newscasters, they're good, they're hopeful, they're inspirational, especially for this crisis that we're in. Like the Apostle Paul, we know what it's like to go to, say, our familiar places where we socialize with one another. And now we know what it's like to stay apart from each other. We know what it's like to be in worship with each other in our sanctuary. And now we're finding out what it means to worship virtually. Paul says that he's learned the secret for all circumstances, whether he was in plenty or in want, in good times or in bad. And the secret, he says, is simple. He has Christ in his life. And the strength that comes from knowing the risen Christ in his life empowers him no matter what the situation is. Well, this quarantine is part of our lives now, but knowing the risen Christ strengthens us. When we progress to a new normal and the crisis subsides, some things will no doubt have changed forever, and some things will return to the way they were. Still, the risen Christ strengthens us. For some, livelihoods are uprooted, and for others, business couldn't be better. May the risen Christ strengthen you no matter what your situation is. For those who are on the front lines, who have more sickness and death than they ever could want to have, may the risen Christ strengthen you. For those reaching out to the vulnerable, the lonely, those stuck at home away from others, may the risen Christ strengthen you. Some are in need now, and some are blessed by others who offer help. May the risen Christ strengthen us. Yes, you see, we are all in this together, and we'll come through this stronger than before, undoubtedly because we know the risen Christ and can do all things through him who strengthens us. So as we begin this night broadcast, let's pray together. O Spirit of the risen Christ, strengthen us, we pray, in this day and in all things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Welcome, everybody. Joanne Carroll is with us on board. Good to have you on board, Joanne. I'm excited to share with you that my guest broadcaster is Amy Adams tonight. And Amy is, of course, one of our consistory members. She serves as an elder on consistory, and she's also been engaged with our faith formation with our middle school youth. She's here tonight to do the broadcast with you. Here's Amy.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings to you from TV land at Christ Church. So the first couple things business-wise, I'm going to take my mask off. Galen's way over there on the other side of the room because I keep fogging up my glasses. And plus I put makeup on tonight just for being on this YouTube, which I forgot how you do that. So I just learned how to do that again. And of course, I wouldn't want to let anybody down. I did just take a shower. So I'm usually the usual wet head like I am at church on most Sundays. So I asked Galen yesterday if I had to take a shower, and he said that would be nice. So anyhow, so announcements about this coming Sunday. Faith Formation is online adults for Zoom. That's happening at 9:00. That's the same class that will be repeated on Tuesdays. That one will be repeated on Tuesday, April 21st at 7 p.m. If you want to join the Zoom class, go to our Christ Church Members and Friends Facebook page where the invitation and link is posted. Jeff McLeod usually posts those. Faith Formation Online for middle school youth is on Zoom with me at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Faith Formation Online for children's and families. This is with Kevin and Amy. That happens at 9:30. They're doing an awesome job pushing out materials that the kids can use ahead of time to get ready for the class. That's great. And then Sunday Morning Live with Christ Church on YouTube at 10:30. And then, of course, next Wednesday, the 22nd, we'll be back here again with Galen with What's Happening at Christ Church Live on YouTube at 7:30. Am I not sitting up straight enough?
Right.
I'm kind of like hunched over.
You can see, I'm looking at you. This is what you might look like.
Okay, yes, sit up,
That's
Amy.
better.
All right. Sunday morning worship at Christ Church Live on YouTube only. That's the format we're in right now. This Sunday is going to be back, like I just said, at 10:30. Next Sunday, the 26th of April, will be broadcast live on YouTube as well. This was communicated in I think a daily or a weekly word about Youth Sunday. Everybody loves Youth Sundays. We all look forward to what they're going to do. And I know personally how much effort they put into this from listening to Carolyn and the other Faith Formation high school teachers. So they've worked on their presentation all year long, and they are going to pre-record their presentation to be offered sometime in May. But here's what you can expect out of that Youth Sunday. Service in everyday life. They're going to highlight their service projects and ways our congregation was already involved in their projects. At this time, we want to thank the blessings of your gifts and contributions. We are just so amazed and thankful for a generous, tremendously giving congregation that we all are. Not only are you keeping Faith Formation up to date, keeping faithful and keeping up to date, several of our church members have given to help those affected directly by the COVID-19 outbreak. People's lives are touched. I'm slouching again, I can tell.
Yeah. I'm going to fix that for you.
Thank you for your gifts with the envelope giving. Nadine here at the office wants you to make sure you put your name on the envelope when you turn the envelope in so that we can credit that accordingly. This helps the counters during this time of transition to our new software tremendously. There are further congregational connections. Some of you might have seen an email from Steve Stauffer this week. Several of our church members are volunteering to connect to church members by calling people and emailing them. And some committee chairs plus our church and music staff are reaching out. As the stay-at-home order continues, our consistory members are joining in. Early next week, consistory members will be making contacts with you, Christ Church members, just to say hello, just to find out how you're holding up and seeing if you need anything. And as Steve Stauffer said, the grassroots of diligent phone calls are pretty much the only personal connection we have available. And people do appreciate and really do value our personal connections. They remember personal connections. So last week's question for all of you was, what creative things are you now doing because of the virus outbreak? So some of you talked about that. We got some additional input later, a little bit later, and Galen wanted to make sure that those got their attention that they are due. Tanya Reynolds says, I fear that Ashton Kutcher is going to jump out of my closet at any minute and say, you've been punked. But seriously, the amazing acts of kindness I've seen from people helping people during this time have been inspiring. The boys and I have had more game nights. I'm getting outside and moving more and appreciating all God has provided for me, you and all, to view and enjoy. I love those spring flowers. They really are beautiful right now. Mandy Moyer gave an answer. I've been making sure pets have been taken care of during this time. I mainly work with people's pets. When you have a minute, please check out my business page, Barkery Delight Services, to see what I've been up to. So that's also on Facebook. Tracy Yossi. I've rediscovered what it means to be grateful for the basics, listening to the sound of the neighbors' lawnmowers, enjoying an open window, playing with the animals that share our home. I also find myself meditating more, drawing strength and energy from listening rather than talking. Most importantly, speaking with many people by phone has brought me closer to those I've known for both a short and a long while. So that wraps up last Wednesday's question. We're going to move into this week's question. You can think about it. You can text Galen at 2 o'clock in the morning and tell him what your thought was about that. Maybe you change your mind 10 times. You can send him additional texts with each new idea you have. So you don't have to respond tonight if you don't want to. But we need a little bit of a drum roll here. The question is, you can post it here in your chat, or you can, like I said, text him later. His phone number is, do we really want to say this out loud on the internet? Okay. 717-329-2938. That's 717-329-2938. And the question is, what do you think is the first thing you'll do when the quarantine is lifted? Okay. So,
anybody on chat?
Yeah, I see. I don't see anything coming up yet, but I'll talk here. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is celebrate some birthdays today. Can I take this down?
Yep.
Is there another page you have to talk? No, I got it. There's my face. Okay, so it's Kelsey O'Brien's birthday.
That's right.
So grab your hand sanitizer. We're going to sing happy birthday to Kelsey. Oops, nice, I just got it all over you. Nice. Here you go, Galen. All right. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kelsey. Happy birthday to you. He's such a show off.
Sounds better with harmony.
So what have I been up to? Let's see. I've been hitting these pretty hard. And also these. So with that, I've got a Superman waistband pants on here tonight. And if worse comes to worse, I've got about 8 bottles of these at home. This is the Pinnacle vodka, flavored vodka. This was the church auction gift from the outreach committee. It was supposed to be a rainbow of flavors. So yeah, that's sitting in our other room. I really don't drink vodka or any of that hard stuff, just maybe a beer now and then, but it's out there. I'm collecting dust. I thought about having an online auction tonight. You know, how much can I get for one of these? And I found the hand sanitizer out there earlier in my closet. And there's not much of it, and it's pretty old. It's kind of got that like foggy look inside, but it gets us through. So let's see. Linda Manofa says, I'm going out for dinner. Yay! Joanne Carroll says, go to a restaurant for a sit-down meal that I don't have to cook. I tell you what, man, I have never cooked so much in my life. It's like a new record every day. It's gotten to the point where we have designated cookers now. So Emily has to cook one night a week. I help her with some guidance, and Bob he's assigned a night too. And of course I have to help him with guidance too. And everybody has to help to load the dishwasher. And heaven forbid if the dishwasher breaks, right? Oh my gosh. We're going to have to resort to paper plates. Sorry, green team, but yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. So personally, what's going on with me? My company moved 17,000 of us to a work from home situation. That happened over a period of 2 weeks. That included people in the customer service call centers in my company. So then they were afraid that it would crash the network like the Schoology did the other week for the kids that do online learning in our school district. That's a national website that goes, is used across the country by many schools. So to prevent that, they came up with this idea that some people that weren't considered frontline critical people would be shifted to a second shift. And that's what happened with me and many of my other friends that I know. I was working from 6 p.m. till I could work anytime between 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. on the network. I could dial in and listen to calls during the day, but I wouldn't be able to see any updates or anything. So anyhow, that lasted for fortunately only 2 weeks, and I'm back on day shift. But working at night had its merits. I got some things done during the day that I normally don't do, and that I'm too tired to do after I get home from work. So that was good. By the way, Barb says that you're taking her on a vacation that you don't know about yet. That's the first thing that's going to happen.
Sounds really good to me.
So my husband, as most of you know, is a small business owner. He owns a bicycle shop right downtown here. So it's usually, of course, a very busy time for him with spring and people wanting to get out and get on their bikes and stuff. But the store is technically closed to the public, but he does by appointment only. So he talks to people from the street. He'll stand inside the doorway and give them their bike or exchange the bike for a repair or whatever. So it is what it is. We're surviving. Emily's doing on-school learning, and she's done a little bit of Zoom with her friends, and she's doing that kids messenger through Facebook. So that's interesting. But other than that, that's what I've been up to. I didn't sleep too well the first couple of weeks, and with all this, I had a lot of COVID-19 dreams, like things that would work their way in, and it would be related to the virus. Not necessarily nightmares. It would just be like, it was like I was realizing, like, wait, those people aren't 6 feet apart. Like, oh, that person's not wearing a mask. And I thought they'd kind of stopped, and then I had another one last night. So it's just weird. I look at commercials, and it seems weird to see a group of people together in a commercial now.
I know.
So it's like you can tell when the commercials were made. And then let's see what else. But now I'm better, not great, but better. Some days some days are better than others, but I've given up on like, okay, I'm home. I get to do all these projects I've been waiting for years. I've just given up on those expectations. Not that I won't do them, but I've kind of lowered my expectations and just know that some days I'll have good days and some days I'll have bad days, and it's okay. We're going to get through this. Like Galen says, we're all in this together. And it's just, is what it is. I'm thankful for sunny days, though. They make all the difference. What else do I have to tell you? Let's see. Shout out. Let's see. Shout out to my middle school faith formation group. Yeah. Listen to all the siblings we have, and they just love each other so much. Luca and Josie Spade, Alexis and Cameron Cook, Isaac and Abe McDermott, Bristol and Braxton Shanago, Maddie and Maya Hampton, Maya LeBoy, Sophie Schaefer, if you're listening, I miss you, Hayden Best, Maggie Hook, my daughter, of course, Emily, Garrett Reynolds, and Emily Rainey. I think I hit the most of the class. If I forgot someone, I very much apologize. But we've had a pretty good attendance, and they always want to see what I'm up to and what stupid thing I'm going to do next on YouTube or Zoom. So I wore my Easter bonnet for them last Sunday. Yep, and it's got even the little string hanging down there. But yeah, I wore the Easter bonnet for them. Nobody said anything. They just figured I'm being strange as always. So that's what happened. Look, my hair's drying. It looks better now too. So that happened. We did a little Maundy Thursday lesson with them on Maundy Thursday. It was a little Passover meal with objects that they had around the house. So that was interesting. Still not sure if the Spades had wine or if that was apple juice. I heard it was apple juice, but I still would like to question that. Yeah, we did the Maundy Thursday, and then I got bonus points for myself because Galen parts of Galen's service were spot on to what I had just told the kids earlier, and we hadn't planned that at all. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice. We had wine too, by the way, in church.
Speaking of wine, they have these cool little things they gave out at Masonic Homes. I follow that Masonic Homes Facebook page. It's like portable, like little pack of wine, little cups of wine. It's a communion, a personal communion, it's called.
Oh, that's cool.
They did so much stuff for their residents. They gave them all an Easter flower, potted flower. They gave them a nice Easter meal. And then they delivered a palm and a couple of these personal communion cups ahead of time. So that was really, really nice. Let's see. Linda Manofa says, Minnie Pearl's got nothing on me. I know. All right. Fantastic. Let's see. What else have I been doing? Family Feud. My neighbor across the street is a DJ. He's with Occasions DJs. And he does an online Family Feud every night at 7 o'clock. So sometimes we join that and play with that. That's really fun. He does a good job with that. You know, running and walking have become so popular now because nobody can do much of anything else. So now that's popular, I pretty much checked out of that activity, as you can tell. Sharon Toes and I were laughing about all these people that are parading around the blocks in our neighborhoods. Like, where did these people come from? I haven't seen these people before, and there they are. Plus, apparently the leash law is optional now in my neighborhood. So I get to walk our 70-pound golden retriever at night when there's not as many people out, because he would just go nuts, let alone the bunnies and the squirrels and everything he sees now. Status on my scar. Yes, for those who remember, I did fall, and right there it is. It's getting better. So it's starting to improve. Oh yeah. So anyhow, in normal times, this is Wednesday, April 15th. On Friday evening, April 17th, I was supposed to be at Dulles Airport with my family, leaving to go to London. And obviously that's not happening. So I would look a little bit leaner, you know, a little thinner, because I was training for a marathon. But tripping and falling and getting 6 stitches in my head kind of slowed that down. And then when everything else started kicking up, the fitness center closed. All the places I like to go to run are closed. So that's just about it. They did reschedule the London Marathon to October, but honestly, I really don't know if that's even going to happen then. So I've deferred to April of 2021 to go back. Well, not go back, but to go and do it then. So that's what's going on there. A little bit more about me, because it is all about me for the next couple of minutes yet. Sorry. I want to thank everybody who made donations to Leukemia Lymphoma Society on my behalf through buying the Christmas cookies at Christmas time, which was fantastic, to purchasing other cookies at Thanksgiving, February for Valentine's Day, all those times. I broke $20,000 with your help. So my fundraising is my goal is reached for myself, and I'm taking a break on that, obviously, because I don't feel now is the time to be asking for donations necessarily for that, because people are really concerned about themselves and just trying to get their basic needs covered right now. So, but ironically, every time I think about stuff like that, I just need to stop and just relax a little bit with my fundraising. Something happens, and I'll tell you this quick story. My friend called me the other night. She's from Pittsburgh, and we talk once in a while on the phone and text each other. But she called and said that her sister-in-law's sister, who lives over here in Lebanon, was having breathing problems and wasn't doing so well, and she was admitted to the hospital. So they tested her for the virus, came back negative. So everybody's thinking it's a false negative. They tested her again another day, still came back negative. They finally determined that she had leukemia. So it was, I assume it was ALL, acute lymphocytic leukemia. And one of the things that can happen is that the thymus organ that sits behind your breastbone can become enlarged and put pressure on the trachea that causes problems breathing. So I just am constantly reminded of my purpose for that mission of supporting the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and all the work that they do also supports the other cancer patients. So with that, I want to say thank you to all the people in our congregation and beyond, our members who are doctors and nurses, EMTs, police and fire, those who are on the front line, our members who are music therapists. I never realized there were so many music therapists in our church until the other year. I'm like, what do you do? I'm a music therapist. I'm like, I didn't even know you could go to school for that. So anyhow, Jan Stauffer, I have to say, when you wore that mask on Easter Sunday, I cried because it just spoke so many words beyond. It was everything that you and everybody else like you are doing to be with the patients.
The chaplains too.
And the chaplains too. Yes, definitely the chaplains. And I think about Kelsey quite a bit and David Carnish. Our members who work in the grocery stores and who are part of the food chain supply. Our members, we have members who shop for others. That's a wonderful service. Our members who transport others to their destinations. Our members who are clergy, and we have a lot of clergy. It's crazy. And our members and friends, if we in the National Guard. My prayers are also with people who are recovering from illness in our church and in our greater community or surgery, dealing with the frustration of delayed surgeries. I know that's happened to a couple of people, and dealing with treatments for their diseases, and dealing with mental health issues that come along with this challenge that we're in right now, and struggling to get through each day. My prayers go out to everyone whose job situation has changed. My husband reminds me, not every day, but he's reminded me twice since we started. He said, we're very fortunate. I said, yes, I know. But I'm kind of the Debbie Downer sometimes, like, but what if this? What? No, just relax. So my prayers also go to all the people in the South who were affected by those severe storms over the past weekend. Sometimes you have to ask, how much more can people take? So, well, that was kind of a drag down there at the end, but I didn't mean to do that. But I know I always try to be funny and, haha. But Emily and I attend church regularly, and my husband, he's a faithful person as well. And we say prayers every night together for the people that are affected by all this, and that were prayers who we're thankful for. And our kids in middle school do too. We do a who we're thankful for regularly at each lesson. So let's see. What else? Anybody else have any other plans? What are you going to do after this all gets better or gets to the new normal, the new next normal? I guess we're in the new normal for now. What are you going to do after when the next new normal comes? You're going to seek me out for my hand sanitizer and my vodka. All right. Did you want to say a prayer again, or
no? But
no.
You can highlight anything that.
Okay.
Sunday's worship at 10:30.
My teleprompter's telling me what to do over here. Let's see. So I just want to remind you guys that this Sunday is a lot of stuff going on. 9 o'clock for middle school, 9 o'clock for adult faith formation, 9:30 for the kids in 4th grade and under. Did I say 9:30? Mm-hmm. 9:30 for that, and then 10:30 for Pastor Galen on YouTube with Christ Church. So if you need any of that information, or like I said, if you come up with thoughts of what you want to do later on during the week after the quarantine gets lifted, text Galen anytime of the day. He's always available. You know him. He misses hugging all of you too. He practiced great restraint when I walked in here tonight. So it's hard for people who are so outgoing to deal with us. Poor Barb. Has he hugged you? I hope he's hugged you.
Yeah, once.
So have a good evening. Stay safe, be well, and practice good health practices. Take a shower once a week, and make sure you change your pajamas every so often. Thank you.
You can use the mouse and hit the end screen there.
There you go.
Thank you, Amy.